The hills of Isandlwana were quiet that morning. A massive rocky cliff rising from the South African landscape, silent, ancient, watching. Below it camped over 1,800 British soldiers, the pride of the Victorian Empire, completely certain of their superiority.
They had no idea that hidden beyond those hills, 20,000 Zulu warriors were already moving toward them, disciplined, fearless, and about to deliver the single greatest defeat the British Army had suffered in over a century. What happened next shocked the entire world and changed the British Empire forever.
By 1879, the British Empire was at the peak of its power. It controlled nearly a quarter of the entire planet. Its army was modern, disciplined, and battle-tested across every continent on Earth. When Britain set its eyes on southern Africa, they saw one final obstacle standing between them and complete control of the region: the Zulu Kingdom. To the British military commanders, this was not a serious problem. The Zulus had no firearms, no artillery, no modern military equipment of any kind. Lord Chelmsford, the British commander leading the invasion, was so confident of an easy victory that he barely bothered to prepare for the possibility of defeat. That confidence would cost him everything.
To understand what happened next, you need to understand who the Zulus actually were. The Zulu Kingdom was not a disorganized collection of tribes. It was a highly structured military nation built for war. Zulu warriors were organized into regiments called Amabutho, age-based military units that trained together, lived together, and fought together for years before ever seeing a battlefield. Their primary weapon was the assegai, a short stabbing spear designed for close, brutal combat. Combined with a large cowhide shield, Zulu warriors were trained to get inside an enemy's reach and overwhelm them at close range. They were also extraordinarily fast, covering up to 50 miles on foot in a single day across difficult terrain. Their battle tactics were built around a formation called the bullhorn, a strategy so effective it would shock the most experienced British military officers who faced it. The bullhorn formation was elegant in its simplicity and devastating in its execution. The Zulu army would advance in 3 groups simultaneously. The chest, the main body of warriors, would engage the enemy directly from the front, pinning them in place and holding their attention completely. Meanwhile, the 2 horns would sprint wide around both sides and curve inward behind the enemy. Once the circle closed, there was no escape. It was remarkably similar to Hannibal's encirclement at Cannae more than 2,000 years earlier, and just as deadly. The British army at Isandlwana had never faced anything like it. On the morning of January 22nd, 1879, Lord Chelmsford made a fatal mistake. He took a large portion of his force away from the main camp to investigate a false report of Zulu activity elsewhere. He left roughly 1,800 men behind, believing the camp was safe. He was catastrophically wrong. A British scouting patrol accidentally stumbled upon 20,000 Zulu warriors hidden in a nearby valley, sitting completely silent and waiting for the perfect moment. Their discovery triggered the attack early, and the entire Zulu army surged toward the British camp. British soldiers opened fire immediately, but historical accounts suggest the ammunition supply system broke down. Soldiers on the front lines struggled to get enough bullets. Whether through supply failures, the speed of the Zulu advance, or overwhelming numbers, the British defensive line began to crack. The bullhorn formation worked exactly as planned. The 2 flanking groups curved behind the camp, cutting off every escape route, while the chest pressed forward from the front. Within hours, the camp was completely surrounded. By early afternoon, it was over. More than 1,300 British soldiers were dead. News of Isandlwana reached Britain and caused national shock. The Victorian public could not comprehend that their army had been destroyed by warriors armed mainly with spears. Britain eventually sent massive reinforcements and defeated the Zulu kingdom later that year. But Isandlwana was never forgotten.
The battle proved that technology alone does not win wars. Strategy, discipline, knowledge of the terrain, and the determination to defend one's homeland can overcome even the greatest military advantage. The Battle of Isandlwana remains one of history's greatest upsets. If this story surprised you, share it with someone who has never heard it. Subscribe for more untold stories from history that changed the world. I will see you in the next one.